What's up, guys? This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. I hope all has been well with you. Now, guys, we are going to talk about the highly anticipated sequel to Dune Part 1, which was creatively entitled Dune Part 2. Now, I had the opportunity to see this earlier today, so I'm going to give you guys my spoiler-free thoughts on Dune Part 2. Which isn't that hard to do. I mean, keeping it spoiler free, seeing as a lot of it must have went over my head because I know that this is a big deal for many people. People are raving about this. I started seeing the reviews for this pretty early, and everyone's talking about how great it is, how grand in scale it is. You got to see this on the big screen. Not only that, you got to see it on the IMAX. So I saw it on the IMAX. I mean, I was really looking forward to this, guys. Now, anyone who's heard me talk about Dune Part 1 knows that I was underwhelmed by that. I fell asleep just about every time I tried to watch this. And I really tried, guys. I think I must have tried to watch Dune Part 1 probably about 4 or 5 times. And each time I fell asleep, probably within the first 20 minutes. So this one, I've been told, kind of like picks up. Like it gets a little bit more exciting, action-oriented, whatever. So I'm like, okay, all right, I like that. I like what I'm hearing. So I went out to go see this thing. And I gotta tell you guys, I was still underwhelmed. I still fell asleep. I fell asleep in the IMAX. Who falls asleep in the IMAX, guys? But it happened. And I gotta say that I do see where it did ramp up. You know, there was more action in this one than was in the first one. But anyway, let me start off by giving you a brief summary of what this movie is. Now, this is Dune Part 2, and this was co-produced and directed by Denis Villeneuve. I've been told that it's Dene. I say Denis because it's spelled just like penis, but with a D. That's actually kind of funny. Okay, so he co-wrote the screenplay with John Spates. The sequel to Dune, it's the second of a 2-part adaptation of the 1965 novel Dune by Frank Herbert. It follows Paul Atreides as he unites with the Fremen, or the Fremen, people of the desert planet Arrakis to wage war against House Harkonnen. Timothy Chalamet, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Dave Bautista, Zendaya, Charlotte Rampling, and Javier Bardem reprised their roles from the first film. In addition, you also have Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, Christopher Walken, the legendary Christopher Walken, and Léa Seydoux joining the ensemble cast. All right, so basically what I can make of this movie is it's Paul looking to get revenge against the people who pretty much slaughtered his people, killed his father, all of that stuff. He's still running around with his psycho mom. Zendaya is there constantly looking and scowling and disapproval. And, I think part of my problem with this is, to me, there's just no compelling characterization going on here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care about these people. Like, I understand there's a lot of shit going on here, right? I understand the stakes are high and everything, but ultimately, I don't give a damn about anybody. Okay? So you got Paul, and these people are out in the desert, and they're worshiping him. They're doing the whole chosen one thing. You know what I mean? And he is not the chosen one, or he's saying he's not the chosen one, but he does want to fight with them or fight alongside them to get revenge, like I said, for what happened to his people. Meanwhile, you got his psycho mom who drinks like some pee or something like that, and it awakens the baby inside of her. So now we're to believe that she is talking to the baby inside of her womb. I would imagine there's a very powerful pro-life message here. You know what I mean? The baby's actually in the womb talking to the mom. You know what I mean? You don't get rid of something like that. Mom, what are you doing, Mom? No, Mom, no. Imagine if it was like that in real life, guys. They'd be shutting down a lot of Planned Parenthoods. But anyway, going on. You got, Paul, he's got a budding relationship going on with Zendaya. Zendaya is just like, she just doesn't do it for me, guys. It's like she's cute and everything, but Paul has this thing that he says to her, as long as I'm breathing, I'm going to love you. You know what I mean? And it's like, why? Like, what's motivating this? Why are they even falling in love? You feel no chemistry between them. You don't see why this man would be fighting to get back to her or anything like that. I'm not feeling that. You know what I mean? So she is disapproving of the fact that he is being worshipped. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't believe in the ancient religions of some of these sand people who are out there, which, by the way, seeing this on the IMAX, right? Let me just talk about that experience real quick. I'll get back to the plot in a minute. But watching this thing on the IMAX, it's noisy as hell. Okay. I understand this thing it's grand in scale. Dinas has a great eye for practical effects and all of that stuff. It looks great, but at the end of the day, it's just a bunch of fucking sand. You know what I mean? It's like I'm watching an IMAX screen full of sand. All right, I can't take it, guys. I know some of you, you're loving it. Oh, this is cinema. This is great cinema. But it's noisy as hell too. It's like whenever you have like a tank going across the sand, the whole like arena, the whole stadium, whatever you call it, is like it's so damn loud. Okay, we get it. It's big. Everything is big, but you don't gotta blow people's brains out to show how big it is. The screen is big. We know that it's big. You know what I mean? But it's big and it's noisy, right? And I can't take it. It's a distraction. It takes me out of the film because I'm thinking to myself, will they please shut the fuck up with all of the overindulgence in sound here, all right? Turn it down. Now, I know Dinas, he said that he's not a fan of dialogue, right? He likes spectacle. He likes visuals, and it shows here, right? But you got to give me something more. You got to give me something more in the way of development of personality, character development. You got to give me some more of that. Give me some more. But I'm just not getting the motivation of a lot of these people, outside of, Paul wants revenge and the religious zealots want him to be the one, but the bad guys, right? The bad guys. Let's get into the bad guys. You got the bad guys over here. When you first see them, they kind of look like the Borg a little bit. You know what I mean? They're all pale. Like some of them are wearing some type of, technology on their face or something like that. And they're just not menacing enough to me. You know what I mean? You got some fat ass who's like wallowing it around in oil and water or whatever is going on. You got his nephew looking like he stepped off the set of House of the Dragon. He looks like Damon a little bit because he, ain't got no eyebrows and shit. And, he wants to be a badass. He's a psycho, though. You know what I mean? He's like a psycho murderer. And I think his uncle puts him in charge of, trying to get Paul or something like that. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care about any of it. You know what I mean? So I start nodding out. It gets embarrassing because I'm snoring. I'm snoring in the IMAX. I know people are like, what the fuck is that dude back there snoring? You know what I mean? But I can't help it. It's like, you're not grabbing me. You're not pulling me in. Like I said, I understand, right? There are some hardcore fans out here. I might be the only person out here who's talking about they didn't enjoy this thing, all right? I don't expect you to agree with me. I'm talking about my feelings on this, all right? You see the title of the video, all right? It's about my impressions, all right? If it was about you, it would say your impressions, okay? So bear with me. This is what I'm talking about, right? It just didn't pull me in. I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't care about these people. And like I said, the bad guys just weren't menacing enough. So there was just nothing there for me, guys. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I do see the entertainment value here. I do. And it reminds me of something I always say about Star Wars, guys. If you've been watching my videos for any amount of time with regard to Star Wars, there is this thought that Disney has where they want to make Star Wars for everybody. And I've been saying for the longest time, Star Wars is not for everybody. It's just not. It's for those of us who get it. That's what makes the fandom so special. Either you get it or you don't. You don't have people go out and recruit fans of Star Wars. Either you love it or you don't, right? Either it pulls you in or it doesn't. So, likewise, when we're talking about the Dune saga, I got no use for it. If it ain't Cara Dune, I don't care about Dune. It goes over my head. All right, so I can admit that this is enjoyable. It's huge in scope. It looks great. It's a spectacle. Dinas really did a great job, bringing everything to the screen. I don't know. I never read the book. I don't know how faithful it is to the book and everything, but it just isn't for me. Okay, so I tried Dune Part 1. I just watched Dune Part 2. And to be fair, I think that I stayed awake in Dune Part 2 a little bit longer than I did Dune Part 1. So I would say this is more enjoyable to me in that way. Like, it didn't bore me quite as quickly as Dune Part 1 did, but it did bore me. And if you are like me, if there are any people out there like me who got bored or is missing the point of Dune Part 1 and 2, it's okay. That's the thing that I was trying to say with Star Wars. If it's over your head, if you don't care about it, if it's just dumb to you, it's okay. All right? This video here, this review, exists to let people like me know that it's okay. It's okay that Dune's not for you. It's okay that Dune is not for me. But there's a lot of people out there who love Dune. So don't let this video be something that angers you or triggers you or anything like that. It's just the nature of my channel where I just do this ridiculous thing, which is talk about how I feel about anything. All right. So that's how I felt about Dune Part 2. Now, here's the part that's probably going to trigger some people because I have to give this thing a rating. All right. Now, remember, the rating is based on me. Your rating might be perfect. All right, you don't have to get in the comment section, dude. Man, you retarded. I don't know what kind of movie you was watching. This dude is a fuck up. He's stupid. Listen. Okay, fine. All right. There's a lot of other reviewers out here that's gonna be all up in the ass of Dune Part 2. But as for me, my rating for Dune Part 2, and you know me, I have a rating of flushes, okay? If I give something 0 flushes, it means that it was practically a classic. There was no shit involved whatsoever. If you get 4 flushes or anything above that, it means that it's full of shit. So, Dune Part 2, I will give, I'm going to give it 3 flushes out of 0 to 4. All right, because it just didn't do it for me. I don't give a shit about any of these characters. I don't care what happens to them. I'm probably not going to watch Dune Part 3 because I gave it too much of a chance as it is. Now I've had this revelation. It's not for me. I don't care about these people. I don't care what's going on. Whatever, man. I'm out of this world. Okay? So, 3 flushes for Dune Part 2. Now you guys can get in the comment section. You can roast me. You can do whatever you want. You can tell me, how you felt if you got to see Dune Part 2. Thank you guys for listening. As always, you can like, you can share, you can subscribe, and you probably won't want to subscribe based on this, but trust me, at least you know where you stand with me, guys. I keep it real with you because I love you. I respect you enough to tell you the truth of how I feel. Now tell me how you feel. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.